Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
Good evening. I'm Ann Trujillo with the latest from Denver 7. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history appears to be coming to an end, if only temporarily. Republicans and Democrats have agreed to a deal to reopen the government without funding for a border wall. Here's Denver 7's Russell Haythorne, who spoke to federal workers who say they are ready to roll up their sleeves and get back to work.
A collective sigh of relief this afternoon as the president announced the shutdown is ending, at least temporarily.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government.
It's impacting communities.
Here at home, at a roundtable discussion in Congresswoman Diana DeGette's Denver office this morning, furloughed workers were clear.
Dying to get back to do our work.
Air traffic controllers from Denver say low morale was beginning to create a dangerous environment in the skies.
Air traffic controllers should be 100% focused on the task at hand.
DeGette said the temporary funding deal is welcomed in the House.
We can't negotiate on an immigration bill while the government shut down, because you can't negotiate with somebody who's holding you hostage.
Trump still insists a wall is the only answer.
If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency.
DeGette, on the other hand, insisting the Democratic-controlled House will only fund comprehensive border security, including electronic surveillance, additional Border Patrol agents, drones, and in some areas.
It does include physical barriers in some places. We'll do $5.7 billion for border security, but we're not going to do $5.7 billion for a wall.
After 5 long weeks, an end to the uncertainty and a situation that was becoming more and more dire for thousands of families across the country.
At least if the government's open, the federal employees will be paid, not just for this paycheck, but they'll be made whole. They can go back to work.
That was Russell Haythorne. 2 days after Denver Public Schools asked the state to intervene in contract negotiations with the teachers union, the district is planning for a possible strike within the next few weeks. Teachers are demanding an increase in pay, among other things. Currently, the district is hiring more substitutes and holding job fairs in case a strike were to take place. A judge is throwing the book at a man convicted of stalking college athletes in Colorado. Investigative reporter Jace Larson broke the story last year of the man terrorizing women online and making fake porn pictures using their faces. Jace is here with the man's punishment.
Nearly 15 years in prison. That's what a federal judge handed down today in the case against Eric Baldwin. It is a lengthy sentence for internet stalking. Baldwin had already admitted last year that he was terrifying women when he claimed that he was secretly watching them. From his computer in Minnesota, he told them he would strike when the time was right. 4 of his victims were female athletes at the University of Colorado. And here's where this whole situation gets even worse. Prosecutors say he also manipulated photos to add girls' faces to naked bodies. He'd then send those photos to other students, their friends, and the victims' families. When he got busted, he told investigators that he has sexual performance issues and he was taking his anger out on random women. This man's victims spanned the country, and some of the girls were just in high school. Jace Larson, Denver 7.
And you might remember Denver 7 reporting on this Lakewood police officer, Randall Butler. He's been charged with sex crimes while on the job in 2 cases. Well, one of our Denver 7 stories even got another victim to come forward. And today we've learned that Butler's been charged in yet another case. He's again accused of assaulting another woman. Police believe there could be more victims that have not come forward. So if you are a victim or if you know of someone who is, contact the Lakewood Police Department. And there are concerns in Pitkin County that an ice dam will break along the Roaring Fork River. County officials say with local temperatures and conditions on the river changing, there is the potential for ice dam breaks. Extreme caution should be taken if you are near the river. And as climate change continues to affect the Earth and glaciers shrink, Arctic landscapes are being revealed that haven't been in 40,000 years. This new study from SEER researchers says the Arctic region may be experiencing its warmest century in over 115,000 years. Researchers say the melting is so fast and the heating happening so quickly, they're unable to study plants at higher elevations. And the legacy lives on for a young man from Colorado who was killed in a New Mexico avalanche because of a simple question he answered when getting his driver's license. Are you willing to be an organ donor? Corey Borg-Masanari agreed to that question, and it's one many of us might glance over when filling out paperwork at the DMV, but for this Colorado native, it was important to him and the men and women who honored him before he took his last breath. Here is Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski.
It is a very touching tribute to a man who died too young, at times silent, at times filled with tears. Hundreds of medical and support staff at the University of New Mexico Hospital lined the halls, honoring Corey Borg-Masanari as he was wheeled to the operating room where he would take his last breath and leave a lasting legacy. The 22-year-old was an organ donor, something Corey signed up to do before his unexpected death on a mountain in Taos, buried in an avalanche. This walk, this emotional journey, is the first time staff have done what they call the Organ Donor Walk of Honor. They say from now on, it will be a tradition here. Corey's family says they are encouraging others to be organ donors. They also approved of the video and photographs you just saw, and what is a very personal moment for them. I'm Jennifer Kowaleski for Denver 7.
And now to Aspen, where Colorado's own Alex Ferreira placed gold at the X Games. Ferreira competing in the men's ski super pipe on Buttermilk Mountain. And he went 13 feet in the air, and that was out of the pipe. And you can watch the X Games on Denver 7 this Saturday, and with our partners on ESPN on Sunday. And happening in Breckenridge this weekend, 16 teams from around the world will hand-carve 20-ton blocks of snow into enormous works of art. You'll be able to view these beautiful works of art starting today through next Wednesday. And from the First Alert Weather Center, here is Mike Nelson with a look at your forecast.
Thanks, Ann. Pretty mild at lower elevations for the weekend. Temperatures in Denver reaching 55 degrees on Sunday, but it's just ahead of the next Arctic cold front that arrives Sunday night and will bring us 1 to 3 inches of snow in time for the Monday morning drive. So First Alert Action Day for Monday for icy and slow conditions. Then some cold air comes in. 7 the low by Tuesday morning, 35 in the afternoon. Back into the upper 30s to mid 40s by late next week.
Thank you, Mike. And this has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thanks for joining us. Check back here later tonight for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Ann Trujillo.